Growing up, oh, my best friend was the land. I started with the grass. I had like kupunas that always tell me no stay inside the house, always go outside, find something meaningful in life, I guess. So yeah, took it to the aina. At Ka'ala, my first experience was the water. When I got connected to the water, it was so cold compared to the water I have at home. But there was something about that water that made me feel different or made me reconnect to my root or something. There's something about it. Hard to explain.
We got access to this property, 97 acres. We converted it into taro production for youth. So it started as a youth program, working with alienated youth. The back of the valleys in the last 150 years became places to throw your rubbish or illegal activities, and it was pretty much fenced off. So what happened through our access to these mountains, we were able to convert what was once the food basket of the entire Waianae coast to bring it back into its importance. Yeah.
When we first started planning for the year, we agreed that water was going to be the main theme of the curriculum. So going up to Ka'ala and hearing the stories about how Uncle Eric brought the water down, the needs for water on the Waianae coast are so crucial because it's such a dry climate. We knew that there were stories from the kupuna that this place used to be more abundant with water. I mean, the name of our town is Waianae, and we all know that any place that has Y in it is abundant with fresh water.
Students from the Waianae coast are raising their voices to address an issue that matters to them, an issue in their own backyard. They have serious questions about the state of water resources and access in their area. Where has the way of Waianae gone? What is it being used for? How should it be used? Through this process, they hope to reconnect the people to their place and heal a long-time disconnect within this moku. Hawaii's history is full of examples of political and civic engagement, including the outstanding efforts of the Association of Hawaiian Civic Clubs over the last 100 years.
By the time the Hawaiian Civic Club was created in 1918, Prince Kalaniana had been in Congress for 15, 16 years. The climate in Honolulu had really changed by that time. Every time he came home between sessions, he noticed that the conditions for his people were worsening. They weren't getting better. The need for teaching our people about how to handle the new economy that really was dominant in Honolulu was very, very much needed. One of the main issues is that many Hawaiians who had previously lived out in the far-reaching country areas, the lawai'a, the fishermen, the mahi'ai, the farmers, were displaced from their lands. And so into Honolulu and into other towns on the other islands were built tenement houses. Early on, Prince Kalaniana would have gatherings at his home Pualeilani in Waikiki. And again, while he's flying back and forth, he and his wife, Elizabeth Kahanu, he would come home and get right to the business of his people. And the idea then for both the Hawaiian Rehabilitation Act, which became the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, as well as the establishment of the Hawaiian Civic Club, was to restore the economic, social, and intellectual status of Hawaiian people, and also to increase pride in Hawaiian race heritage. A year before the founding of the Hawaiian Civic Club, Kūhiō's aunt, Queen Lili'uokalani, passed away. When he called together the luncheon at the Alexander Young Hotel, and this was called in November of 1918 to bring together Hawaiian leaders, there were about 70 people in attendance. And again, looking back to the era when Hawaiians were not allowed to meet in public or to have gatherings in public, this is many years later now, where a Hawaiian ali'i is now a United States representative in Congress. So that turned over time. And the idea or the thought of Prince Kalaniana was to have regular weekly lunch meetings that would bring our concerns in the Hawaiian community that would ultimately speak to the well-being of the lāhui.
Prince Kūhiō Kalaniana Ole saw the need for Hawaiians to stand shoulder to shoulder and work together, to unify in order to advance and uplift a lāhui. His vision from 100 years ago resonates today in the efforts of many in our community, those who are working to create opportunities for our people to come together, to reflect on our past, and to use the lessons found therein to inform present-day issues. Vital to this process is the establishment of safe spaces to engage issues, especially those that are controversial, even painful or divisive. Often, difficult discussions help to broaden minds and open hearts towards positive change. Whatever our reasons for coming together and whether we may agree or disagree, we must remember to remain united in heart and mind. Iho okahi ka mana'o, and to do all things with aloha. We follow this group of Wai'anae youth in their drive to restore fresh water to their community. Along their journey, they discover numerous and unexpected avenues to producing positive change.
When you talk about a civic club, civic means community engagement. So we're talking about anything from promoting voting in elections to cleanups and restoration of historical sites. Another aspect of the clubs which are really more focused on cultural, spiritual activities and ali'i commemorations are to keep the memories of our ali'i top of mind. The idea of getting people involved, getting at all ages from keiki to makua to kupuna to participate in public events, to work on campaigns of any subject matter that speak to the well-being of the community. That's what Hawaiian Civic Clubs do.
Back on the Wai'anae coast, a few resourceful teachers seized an opportunity to connect relevant learning to community needs, extending their students' learning from the classroom to real-world environments.
For the last 2 years, I've been working under the program called CSAP, which is Comprehensive School Alienation Program. But as a team, Katie and I, my co-teacher, we felt that we wanted to change the image of the name. So we understand these kids have been through a lot. We know that this Hawaiian plant, a'ali'i, so a'ali'i kumokani, and we're going to give them a name that's going to make them resilient. So our kids, they come to us maybe 10th grade on the paper. So they are short 14 credits. So they've struggled, and for multiple reasons for them not being at grade level. The challenges are that they don't have a lot of confidence in themselves.
So most of them are not like traditional book learners, and the classroom setting never worked for them, so that's why they never came to school. A lot of them are hands-on type of kids. So all the projects that we do are real-world projects and things that are relevant to their life.
What we did the first year, and as we continue this year, was to approach Ka'ala and ask them, we want to do some service and we want them to learn about project-based. So our partners, Pals and Places, the UH Manoa Seeds program, had taken that to Eric Enos, and so he came back with, how about some fish ponds?
As an initial project to get the students involved and invested in Enos's work, he had the students focus on identifying sources of fresh water for the farm, a task which proved easier said than done. What started as a field trip to the back of the Wai'anae Mountains grew into deeper inquiry and investigation into the water flow, access, and diversion.
We started going to different tunnels, like Kunish Tunnel in Wai'anae. Then we went to Wahe'e tunnels and went up into the mountains to go into the mountains to see how they dug ditches in the mountains and how the water came out, like clean, pure water, and how long it takes for us to get water. So then they started reading information on policy.
Well, I sit on the Wai'anae Neighborhood Board and I know how it works. I thought it would be nice to have students introduce some policy that would be really relevant to the community. I first asked the students if they were willing to do it, because I knew if they weren't inspired to do something like this, it wasn't going to be a quality project.
They give us each section on top of the resolution, we gotta explain it. And then I got a section, and I think mine was the benefit of what we're doing.
Some of the students really didn't think they could do it, and they didn't think anybody would take them seriously. I told them if you put in the work and if you interview people and you put your experiences and thoughts together, we could really come up with something great. And it took several months. It was very difficult. I think because there is relevance in the drive to do something meaningful, that's what really motivated them to learn and do whatever it takes to make it happen.
Aloha, my name is Ola. This resolution is water access to the Honua stream, sponsored by the A'ali'i students in Nanakuli High School.
Whereas, according to the Board of Water Supply current data, 1.4 million gallons of water flow from Kanish Channel per day, which is just 16 of the diversions on this coast.
Whereas 2 centuries ago, Hawaiians didn't have to rely on ships bringing in food to survive.
Be it further resolved that releasing the water back to the stream would be like the blood flowing through our vein, giving us back life.
Civic Club members, when we get out there, we need to know what else is going on in the community. So we attend many functions, many events, and we bring it back into the community to share as a president's report and so on and so forth. But mainly is to pay attention closely to our community, to what's going on.
Auntie Dali works here at the school. She's the president of the Nani Kapono Civic Club here in Nanakuli. And she got involved shortly after we presented the resolution at the Waianae Water Panel. Auntie Leimana from the Ahamoku Advisory Committee offered to submit the resolution to the National Convention in Las Vegas, and we needed a sponsor, and since the kids are from Nanakuli, Auntie Dali offered to sponsor it out of her club. We got it into that convention as a late resolution.
Inspired by the focus and commitment of such young people in their own community, leaders of Nāna i Kapono Hawaiian Civic Club decided to sponsor and present the students' resolution at the association's 2016 convention in Las Vegas. As the work progressed, this group of Nanakuli High School students began to realize the potential for much greater impact than they had initially imagined. Like so many before who were called to rise above self-doubt and challenging circumstances, they accepted their kuleana and discovered leadership within themselves.
I think leadership development is key in the Hawaiian Civic Club movement. I'm not sure that Prince Kalaniana Ole really envisioned what would happen down the road long after his passing in 1922. Many people who were influential became a part of that leadership, and while Prince Kūhiō Kalaniana Ole convened them, he stepped back and let them lead the organization. In the process of colonization, and the colonization is having another government come in and take over a government and influence them and force them to assimilate, one of the things that is most effective in that colonizing process is to divide and conquer. And so even at that time, Hawaiian groups, Hawaiian families, everyone was sort of fending for themselves in a way that both Reverend Akaiko Akana and Prince Kalaniana Ole thought was not best for the Hawaiians. So ka ho'olokahi ana I ka Hawaii, the unifying of Hawaiians, and for Hawaiians to come together regularly. And so when the clubs come together each year at the annual convention to talk about Hawaiian issues, we've made significant advances, but we still have some of the same challenges in the community. But looking again back to the founding fathers of the Hawaiian Civic Club of Honolulu, the coming together of Hawaiians and preparing themselves for the new economy, really, to be able to understand business and advance forward, and also at the same time revert to or go back to their oihana, their occupations that required their presence on the land. Farming was diminishing at that time. Water is being diverted. So when you talk about the idea that Hawaiians will greatly benefit from being returned to traditional occupations, you also need the infrastructure that those occupations require.
No, I didn't know hardly anything about the civics clubs. We were willing to take this whatever direction it would go to help with our objective, to get the water restored. So we were just very grateful that they would consider even taking a look at it.
I like to say I was voluntold to join the Civic Club. A few years ago, while I was interning at the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, one of the kupuna that worked there, Uncle Ike Ka'aihui, he would bug me every day as I walked past his desk to get to my desk, and he would always ask me, "Oh, what, have you decided if you're gonna join yet?" So after I think of a week of him consistently asking, I finally agreed to join. As soon as I told him, the first thing he said is, "Well, I'm gonna need your $35 for the club dues and another $50 for the club shirts." I'm like, what did I get myself into? You know, I just lost 80 bucks. But, you know, I think from then and from joining the Civic Club and being involved with a lot of my Civic Club members, I think it's one of the best choices I've made because it's really opened a lot of doors of opportunity. And that's how I ended up here at the legislature today. What I've noticed is that the Hawaiian Civic Clubs do have a strong presence here at the legislature. You know, we have various civic clubs submitting testimony on a number of different bills, on a number of different issues, and they make their presence known here at the legislature. I think that's what the civic clubs have taught a lot of us, is to debate the issue. Debate is healthy, but once a resolution is passed, that is the stance of the Hawaiian Civic Clubs. And whether you agree with it or not, you know, that's what the Civic Club is going to be advocating for. So when I returned home from DC, I was pumped, you know, to become civically engaged. You know, and as a typical 21-year-old at the time, I had all of these great ideas, but I didn't know how to move it forward. You know, I was eager, I was excited, I was eleu, but it wasn't until I joined the civic clubs until I realized that, okay, you know, things take time, you have to be patient. There are certain ways things are done, or the way that we are doing things is just how it is. It's learning about parliamentary procedures. It's about learning how to debate the issues and how to convey the issues in a concise way. All of these things can be taught in the Hawaiian Civic Clubs, and I think it's important for more young people to get involved in the Hawaiian Civic Club movement, because the tools that we need to move our people forward can be taught, can be learned, and can be experienced through the Hawaiian Civic Clubs. The Waianae resolution was introduced in 2016 at our convention in Las Vegas. You know, when it was introduced, the intention of the resolution was great, but the way the resolution was structured, the way the resolution was read, questions that we had from it, you know, was a little bit concerning.
The students and teachers were home in Hawaii when the resolution was presented at the convention. Following much debate, the resolution did not pass the floor. However, the association recommended that it be edited and resubmitted at the 2017 convention. Pleased that they had come so far and not ready to give up, the group was motivated to improve upon and refine their resolution, with the goal of presenting it in person the following year. Inspired by their work with Ka'ala Farms and carefully guided by their teachers, these Waianae youth are seeking out ways to restore fresh water to their community. The resolution they drafted made it all the way to the Association of Hawaiian Civic Club's 2016 annual convention in Las Vegas, but was voted down during the final session.
So after the convention, we found out that it didn't pass, and we sort of understood because they didn't know who we were. None of us were there, and I think they just didn't understand the issue too much. They wanted to meet with us and understand why we were doing it and who we were.
I feel like it was really important for them to hear what we had to say coming from us, and the fact that they don't see it how we see it, that's the issue right there.
So I took the opportunity to approach Kellen and say, Kellen, join a civic club. Join ours, and your voice can be heard. Your concerns can be heard.
In the end, we ended up joining the Makaha Civic Club because they were supportive, and so 6 students, myself, Ms. Fisher, Kellen, everybody became Civic Club members.
I really appreciated the support of the Makaha Hawaiian Civics Club. They really wanted to work with us, and they've been helping us out, and I think they want to see younger people also, because, you know, eventually they're going to be gone and somebody needs to care about the community. At first we thought, oh, there's no way we can do this because we had such a short window and time frame to do it.
After it didn't pass the first time, the Oahu Council offered to help us revise it, and the president, Ahahui Pu, came out to the school and meet with the students and offered several revisions. He had a lot of questions and suggestions, so we spent most of the semester just going through a lot of those and revising and making it stronger and doing more research and adding to it.
When they presented the resolution, again, there were some questions that needed to be asked and needed to be put in there. We went out to do a class out there. Several of our members from different civic clubs went out there, and we went down to sit with them to talk about how resolutions are written and what the concept of a resolution is all about.
It was hard for me because I didn't know what a resolution is until they started explaining it to us, and I was like, I kind of got a hook of it.
Resolutions are formatted a certain way. You have to provide the context of the issue, you have to provide history, but then you have to clearly state out what your intent is. You know, what is the goal of the resolution? What action do you hope that the resolution will spawn?
I think the students were motivated that they were getting more attention and that, hey, this does have a chance of impacting change. If people want to help us and revise it, then, you know, it's definitely getting more momentum, right? So they did seem like they were, you know, somewhat excited to try and make it better and, you know, do more research and find out what it needed to be stronger.
We wrote down like a lot of evidence. Yeah, we did a lot of research on my section.
So one of the workshops was during the to bring the delegates in so the kids could do a presentation to tell them exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it and why they want to do it. And so that particular workshop that was held was for the delegates. So the people who didn't know about it, they were able to see what these kids were doing, and that was offered to them. And that's some of the mentorship that we try to provide for them also too.
We're all learning how the Civics Club process works and getting all your paperwork done and knowing what you're going to say and thinking about what it means to represent your community and take the message to a broader audience. So the next step after that was to take it back to the Oahu Council in July to get it approved at their council meeting. In order to go to the National Convention, it had to be approved by them.
And they made a presentation to Oahu Council. Oahu Council accepted it, and we accepted it as a whole. So when we submitted the resolution went in as an Oahu Council resolution, which meant at that particular time that 25 clubs at that time supports this resolution. It gives it a lot more pull versus one club supporting that resolution.
I think they were excited and pretty challenged to be in that kind of position. I don't think they felt ready. I don't know if anybody feels ready to represent their community. They certainly knew how big of an issue it was. But I think they also felt very honored that they were chosen to represent and speak, you know, on behalf of all those who couldn't make it.
So what happened was, as we started going to places to talk, the kids became invested. And so we could see the difference changing. Just going out and talking about it and making people aware of it made them realize people are listening to us. We really do have something to say. It's so good to see young people coming out here fighting for things that is good.
And then it was so emotional because you could see so many people they're so happy to see us kids come out, and then we're actually doing something for the Aina and doing something good.
Today we were asking the kids, how do you know what a leader is? And then one boy said, well, give them all a challenge, give all of them challenges and see which one comes up in front. That's the one who's a leader.
My purpose was because of the water. Water is life, but how often do we really cherish water? The action that we do nowadays, will it affect our kind in the future? It does.
In 2017, the annual convention for Hawaiian Civic Clubs was held in Seattle, Washington. Delegates representing 58 Hawaiian Civic Clubs prepared themselves for a full day of resolution review and discussion. Healthy debate about issues concerning Hawaiian communities would take place across multiple breakout sessions.
So the convention provides an opportunity for us to hear a number of different perspectives. It allows us as a lāhui to engage in issues that have a direct impact on our lives.
And I first came to convention and was a little blown away by the conversations that were going on relative to our Native Hawaiian community. It was inspiring because a lot of the issues that are addressed in convention are ones that I faced as a young Hawaiian going through high school, going through college.
And I feel that the Hawaiian Civic Club is an excellent way for Hawaiians to learn process. But in order for people to really understand process, they have to really, I think, start at this level.
So some of the things that we do today are very much like what our kupuna did even prior to the overthrow back in the kingdom years of Hawaii. All the clubs come together and literally with their voting cards raise their hands and I, ole, yes, we agree, no, we disagree. Kanalua, we're abstaining because we're not clear on the situation. And these are the same words that you would have heard all the way back in the legislature of the Hawaiian Kingdom.
So what makes it really unique is that we understand that we may agree to disagree, but that shouldn't affect our personal relationships that we have with each other. One of the things that keeps bringing me back to the convention every year is being able to spend a week with kupuna from all over the islands, as well as kupuna that are living on the continent.
Because living out of state for us, that's the way they're going to learn their culture, is to get involved with the club and get ideas of how to help the club, to help the people that needs the help.
So that's what's happening here when you see people interacting, and we're rediscovering one another in many ways.
I am the chairman of the Swinomish tribe, which is located about an hour north of Seattle, Washington. And I was invited here by some beautiful Hawaiian people to come and speak to the Civic Club today, and I'm just honored to be here. When we have civic organizations within our communities, their goal is all the same, to try to improve the lifestyles of our native peoples. That is first and foremost. And we got to always remember to keep our eye on the prize, and that is to create a better place for our kids and our grandkids to live in.
So the work that occurs at the Civic Club is so critical to our advancement as a people, and it's really important that we figure out ways to engage the next generation. We know that our younger Hawaiians are more in tune and in sync with social media, with digital media. So we're kind of integrating now. You'll see people with iPads in the committee meetings. You'll see people on their phones scrolling. If we are engaging them through social media, for example, and saying, hey, this resolution passed at convention, perhaps they'll see the light and become a part of the movement.
And I like to think that Kūhiō, through the Civic Club movement, his purpose was to create the next generation of leaders, fighting to ensure that in 20 years, Hawaiians are able to thrive, Hawaiians are able to have our culture, our language, and more importantly, that we're still going to be here fighting the good fight.
One of the reasons the Hawaiian language program was even established in the Department of Education was because we had people like Auntie Gladys Brandt helping us, pushing it. And then the membership comes behind, and all our clubs everywhere. We go to the legislature every year with our resolutions, and we advocate for our positions.
Our stance is that our language, it's our first language as a lāhui. And we need to find as many avenues as we can to make sure that language is incorporated in a real way in everything that we do.
Ia'u e wehewehe aku I ko mākou I kena honua.
Ike ia ke kanaka I kana olelo. That a person is recognized by the language he speaks. And so the other thing that we passed was to create our own standardized test in Hawaiian. And so that has passed, and the legislature has set aside $1 million or 1.2 million to create these test fins. So there has been movement in that way, for Hawaiian, all prong in public school, immersion schools. We need Hawaiian everywhere.
Every convention I leave feeling energized, feeling ready to continue the work. And it's always great to come back. 2018 is going to be a very exciting time for us as Kanaka. It's going to mark the 125th anniversary of the overthrow. It's going to mark 100 years of the establishment of the Hawaiian Civic Club of Honolulu, and it's also going to be the year of the Hawaiian.
Today, the needs may not be quite the same as they were 100 years ago, but some of the problems and the challenges that were the reality then are still with us today. And that's where we need to come together as a community and uplift everyone. One thing that Reverend Akaiko Akana also says is that when you lift up your lāhui, when we lift up the lāhui Hawaii, you don't have to bring other people down in order to uplift yourselves. And so lift everyone up, but remember who you are, remember where you come from, and remember the efforts of the kupuna gone before, because now over 100 years, looking back, we can remember and appreciate the good work and the good foresight of our ali'i and the people that he chose as his confidants, as his associates to make this reality happen.
In 2017, the annual convention of Hawaiian Civic Clubs was held in Seattle, Washington. Wai'anae youth traveled as new members of the Mākaha Hawaiian Civic Club to present a resolution that called for fresh water to be restored to their community.
At our most recent convention of the Association of Hawaiian Civic Clubs, I was really amazed at the number of younger people in attendance. Among them was a group of students who were very vigilant in their particular cause of restoring the water flow into the Wai'anae coast for farming.
Going up to Seattle, I was afraid, because I felt like I wasn't gonna be around people that knows me, like connected to the aina.
Yeah, it's something that they're definitely not used to, so I think it really challenged them, it really did, and it made them think about how they carry themselves and how they portray themselves in the community on a regular basis, right? Because I mean, people start to hear and talk about you, and it's like you realize, you're being held to a higher standard. So I think it really helped elevate some of the individuals that were involved and really shaped who they are to this day.
That was a very inspirational part of this convention. It was because we had our younger generation there.
I think if you're a young leader and you're looking at how to make your place in the world, or how to elevate your voice, a good place is to start here at the Civic Club. You have a platform, you have the opportunity to engage in thousands of Hawaiians who already are like-minded. I think it also promotes leadership in all municipalities, being a part of the Civic Club.
Leadership development is really important, especially through the convention process and all of the things that lead up to the convention, the writing, or the identifying of needs in the community that ultimately speak to the well-being of Hawaii and the well-being of Hawaiians. That is our kuleana. And learning how to stand up in front of all of your peers, and in the Hawaiian Civic Club convention, the idea that you have your aunties and you have your uncles and cousins.
Presenting was really positive, exciting, but it was emotional too. I mean, I think we all felt very passionate and invested in it, and being in this position to represent our community and working on such an important issue, it has a lot of emotional toll on you, right? So a few of us kind of lost and got a little teary-eyed, and both the presentation and the committee meeting because of the magnitude of this issue.
I was excited, the fact that people had to hear what I had to say. I could tell that they were looking at me different, how they see young keikis like me working on something that could impact the whole community on the west side, but continue on to moku, to different type of moku. And That's all I want.
I think what happens when causes like that, community causes are embraced by the opio, by the younger people, it really is it's a sort of a wake-up call for the entire community to say, wow, these kids they know what they're doing, and they have interest in bringing justice and pono to their aina.
And that's why when I came to the Civic Club and I watched, all the mana'o from the young people. And I said, they're fighting for it, because they know that's the right thing to do, because they're looking for the future.
Because I can guarantee you that the people that I've seen in action at these meetings are going to be incredible, because we're going to be training future senators and future, legislators.
Yeah, well, and that's like really the most important thing, getting the youth involved and showing them the importance of politics. Being able to engage them and show them that, that this will affect how you fish. Land rights are getting taken every day, and you don't even know that. You're gonna go one day and be like, oh, this place I used to hike up the mountain every day, now there's like a fence here. Why is there a fence? And it's because of stuff like that, that the politics will affect your way of life. No matter how far away you live, it'll eventually reach there. So if we do not get involved, get engaged in the system, then we're gonna lose everything. So yeah, we just have to really bring the younger generation in, to both educate them and also to hand over the kuleana, because that's really what it is. Our kupuna gave it to us, and we have to give it to the next.
But that's, I think, what makes us very unique. It's what makes the Hawaiian Civic Clubs unique. It's here in these committee hearings that you have the opportunity to debate your issue, an opportunity to make a case on your position. And I think that's one of the most valuable things, is because the same thing is being done here at the legislature. So it's not only good practice, but it also helps us to understand how these things move forward. How an idea can be written down on a piece of paper, and then that piece of paper is taken to people who have the power to create action. And then once the chair feels that there has been enough discussion on the issue, they will call for the question, or they will call for the vote.
Please, sir, come to the microphone, identify yourself and your club.
Aloha, Kellen Smith, Makaha Hawaiian Civics Club. I came to this association with the students from Nanakuli. I was very involved in working on the resolution with them, and we spent about almost a year and a half working on it and revising it several times, speaking with Kapuna, doing lots of research. But what we're hoping is that this document will get us to the next level in our efforts to restore the water to the stream in Waianae.
The motion that will be before you is to adopt Resolution 2017 AZ. All those in favor, raise your cards, please. Hold them up. Sergeant at Arms is doing a count.
On the final day of the convention, Civic Club members voted on a resolution to be endorsed by the association. Waianae Coast students and teachers waited in anticipation to learn if their resolution would pass.
All those in favor, raise your cards, please. Hold them up. Sergeant at Arms is doing a count. All those opposed, please, by the same sign. Hold up your cards. All those who are in doubt, kanalua, hold up your cards, please. All right, members, the vote has returned, and it is 49 in favor, 90 in opposition, 9-0, and 40 kanalua. So the motion dies, the motion fails, and the resolution is not adopted.
The committee, as well as the entire body, felt that there was still work needed to be done. It is not that we don't support the intent of your work. We just wanted to make it stronger so that when the association testifies before the state legislature or the Department of Land and Natural Resources, that we have this resolution in hand that makes for a strong argument. What was really powerful was that various members in leadership positions, as well as different clubs, offered support to help them strengthen their resolution to bring it back.
It is our intent to work with and to kāko'o these young Native Hawaiians, because what we would like to do is to train our next generation to be amazing advocates. So, with aloha in our hearts, we're saying, right on, mai ka'i, good job for the work that you've done.
Just seeing the Opios faces while being applauded for their work was really inspiring.
I was so excited for them. For our haumanas was just seeing their faces, having the opportunity to stand up and say who they are, where they come from, and why they were there.
I was still happy. I wasn't upset or intimidated or anything. Just know that we went there, gave it all our best.
So as soon as we came back home, the students were meeting with people from the Water Commission. They were meeting with people from local government, and action is now being created to achieve the goal that was intended in the resolution. So the way I think we should be looking at it is, although the resolution didn't pass, the discussion itself stemmed action.
This process of going through the resolution, I feel, was a turning point. And if that didn't happen, I don't know if we would have gotten the same end result with the connection with the kids.
When we got these students at the beginning of the school year, they were not very confident in themselves. I felt blessed to see the transformation happen throughout the year. Like, they're seeing themselves as a member of a community, even a leader in the community.
It's changed like how I see everything. There's really more in Hawaii that we need to know, and that we need to tell people like what's going on. Because not only the people is hurting, also the island is hurting us also.
I love to help out on that, I still wanted to continue on farming, and so I went to Ma'o. And what Ma'o was doing for me is a program that I work there and I go to school at the same time.
What I think these students have learned over the past couple of years, because we continue to work on the resolution, it shows them that there is a way to affect change, but it also takes a lot of hard work.
It means we're gonna keep doing more, and we're gonna keep doing what we gotta do. So when we came back, I was like, you guys gotta keep in touch with me. Like, I wanna do this. I'm gonna stay with you guys to the whole resolution.
And what really excites me about what our students are working on is that they're working on a Hawaiian issue. This is an issue that's extremely important to the Hawaiian community.
And I think that's what Kūhiō wanted from us. He wanted us to be engaged on the issues. He understood the wrongs that were committed to our people, but yet we would have to continue to fight for it, fight for what we want, and fight to attain justice for our lāhui. And I think the Hawaiian Civic Clubs have done that. The Hawaiian Civic Clubs for 100 years have provided a voice for our Hawaiian people.
We'd like to encourage more members, more people in the community to join Hawaiian Civic Clubs so that that kind of community engagement can continue to occur.
Being involved in the civic clubs, there's a lot of kuleana. A lot of the times for us younger members, the kuleana is to listen and to step up when you have to. And for the kupuna, their kuleana is to ensure that the next generation of Hawaiian Civic Club leaders are equipped with the ike, with the knowledge, and with the experience needed to carry our movement forward for another 100 years.